Imagine this. You wake up in a world where an HIV diagnosis no longer means a lifetime of daily pills, constant monitoring, and the quiet fear of what might happen if you ever miss a dose. Instead, it means something very different. A single, carefully prepared treatment that reboots your immune system and teaches it how to control the virus on its own. That is the dream behind AGT103-T. In this audio, we're going to walk slowly and clearly through what AGT103-T is, how it works, what the latest research is showing, and what it really means for the future. No hype, no miracles, just science, hope, and perspective. Settle in. Let's begin. Part 1. The problem we're trying to solve to understand why AGT103-T matters. You first have to understand the challenge of HIV. HIV is a virus that attacks the very cells that are supposed to protect you, your immune cells, especially CD4 T cells. Over time, if untreated, it weakens your body's defenses and opens the door to infections and illnesses that a healthy immune system would normally handle. Modern medicine has done something extraordinary. With antiretroviral therapy, often called ART, people living with HIV can suppress the virus to levels so low that standard tests can't detect it. When someone's viral load is undetectable and they stay on treatment, they don't transmit HIV sexually to others. That is a massive victory, but there is a catch. Even when the virus is undetectable in the blood, it is not gone. HIV hides inside long-lived immune cells like a fire smoldering under the floorboards. These hidden copies of the virus are called the reservoir. If you stop treatment, the virus almost always comes back, because that reservoir wakes up and starts replicating again. So today, most people with HIV still need daily treatment, probably for life. That's expensive, demanding, and it keeps people tied to the medical system forever. AGT103-T is one of the boldest attempts to change that story. Part 2. What exactly is AGT103-T? AGT103-T is not a pill. It is not a vaccine. It is a cell and gene therapy. Here is the core idea in simple terms. First, doctors take some of your own immune cells out of your blood. Specifically, they focus on a special group of CD4 T cells that recognize a key HIV protein called GAG. These cells are like commanders that help coordinate the immune attack on the virus. But in most people with HIV, this special squad has been badly damaged. Then, in the lab, scientists upgrade those cells. They use a harmless lentiviral vector to insert genetic instructions that produce tiny molecules called microRNAs. These microRNAs are designed to do three critical things: reduce the expression of CCR5, a doorway HIV uses to enter the cell, and target parts of the HIV genome itself, including TAT and VIF, which are important for the virus to replicate. In plain language, they make these cells much harder for HIV to infect, much less likely to help HIV make more copies, much more capable of surviving and fighting back. After that genetic upgrade, the modified cells are grown and multiplied in the lab until there are hundreds of millions or even billions of them. Then, in a single infusion, they are given back to the same person they came from. These are autologous cells, sendi, your own cells, returned to you, but improved. If it works the way scientists hope, you end up with a stronger, smarter army of HIV-specific immune cells that can resist infection, control the virus, and maybe allow people to reduce or even stop their daily medications under careful medical supervision. That's the vision. Part 3. How the treatment journey looks. Let's walk through what this therapy looks like from a participant's point of view in the clinical trial. First, there is screening. Researchers check that your HIV is well controlled on antiretroviral therapy and that your health is stable enough to participate. These are early phase trials, so safety is the top priority. Then comes leukapheresis. It's a procedure where blood is taken from your body, filtered through a machine that selectively collects white blood cells, and then the rest of your blood is returned. It's similar to donating platelets or plasma, but in this case the goal is to collect those precious T cells that will be engineered into AGT103-T. In the lab, scientists stimulate your cells with GAG peptides to enrich for HIV-specific CD4 T cells. Then they use the AGT103 vector to genetically modify them, adding the microRNA instructions that help protect these cells from HIV and block viral replication. Before you receive the infusion, you get a short course of a chemotherapy drug called cyclophosphamide. It is not used here to fight cancer, but to gently make room in your immune system for the new cells to take hold. Think of it as clearing some space so the upgraded cells can expand and thrive. Finally, you come in for a single infusion of AGT103-T. One visit, one dose, after that the monitoring begins. In the Phase 1 trial, participants were followed for months after the infusion. Researchers checked safety FINDI, were there any serious side effects? Persistent CEMV, are the modified cells still there? Immune response CEMV, Did HIV-specific T cells increase? The early answers to those questions are what made this therapy so interesting. Part 4. What the early trials found. The first formal data on AGT103-T from a phase 1 trial were published in 2022 in the journal Frontiers in Medicine. In that study, participants living with HIV, all with well-controlled virus on ART, received either a low or high dose of AGT103-T. Here's what the researchers saw. First, in terms of safety, there were no serious adverse events. Side effects were mild, which is a big deal for any early-stage gene therapy. The modified cells persisted in the blood for at least 6 months, the full duration of the planned follow-up. Second, the immune system clearly responded. GAG-specific CD4 T cells (CND), the orchestra conductors of the anti-HIV response, increased dramatically, between 9 and 300-fold compared to baseline just 2 weeks after infusion. GAG-specific CD8 T cells, the killers that help destroy infected cells, also increased, up to 10-fold by about 4 weeks. Those elevated levels stayed higher for months. This told scientists something important. AGT103-T was doing what it was designed to do, restoring and strengthening a key part of HIV-specific immunity, and doing it with a single infusion. But that still left a bigger question. In that study, researchers reported that participants receiving AGT103-T could undergo multiple treatment interruptions. Their CD8 T cell counts rose. Viral loads during these interruptions stayed below certain thresholds, with relatively stable CD4 T cell counts. The big takeaway was this: combining AGT103-T with repeated supervised treatment interruptions seemed to be safe and effective at keeping viral levels under better control than you would normally expect when stopping medications. Still, this is early data, small numbers, experimental design. It's exciting, but it isn't yet the final word. Then, in 2025, something even more attention-grabbing was presented. Part 6. The latest update, IAS 2025, and the HIV reservoir in July 2025, American Gene Technologies, the company developing AGT103-T, presented new results from their HIV cure program at the International AIDS Society Conference on HIV Science, IAS 2025, in Kigali, Rwanda. This time, they focused on the HIV reservoir, those hidden copies of the virus inside long-lived cells that usually survive even when blood tests say undetectable, using a specialized test called a modified intact per viral DNA assay, which can distinguish between harmless fragments of viral DNA and truly intact, potentially replication-competent virus. They looked at what happened after AGT103. Here's what they reported. All 5 evaluable participants showed a significant reduction in intact HIV per viral DNA after receiving AGT103-T. In simple terms, the size of their dangerous, real HIV reservoir went down. In one participant, the results were especially striking. Their intact reservoir dropped from around 1/664 copies per million CD4 T cells to undetectable by day 500 after treatment, and that suppression stayed in place for over 2 years. Defective viral DNA sign. Broken copies that cannot produce working virus 7 didn't change much, which is actually what you would expect. The important part was the reduction in the reservoir that still mattered. This isn't the same as fully eradicating every last trace of HIV from the body, but it is strong evidence that AGT103-T might directly shrink the part of the reservoir that can still cause trouble. That is why the company described this as early evidence toward a functional cure-steady state where the virus is so controlled by the immune system that people might live without daily antiretrovirals, with very low risk of disease progression or transmission, even if some virus remains. Part 7. What functional cure really means. The phrase cure is powerful. It can inspire hope, but it can also create unrealistic expectations. So we need to be careful. There are 2 main ideas scientists use when they talk about curing HIV. A sterilizing cure would mean every last copy of HIV is gone from the body, completely eradicated. This has happened in a small number of people who receive stem cell transplants with very specific donor cells, but those procedures are risky and not realistic for most people living with HIV. A functional cure is different. It means the virus may still exist in small amounts, but it is controlled without ongoing antiretroviral therapy. The immune system holds the line. Viral levels stay low, CD4 counts stay healthy, and the person can live a normal life without daily pills, blood tests showing the virus bouncing back, or high risk of illness. AGT103-T is aiming for that second outcome. By restoring and protecting HIV-specific CD4 T cells, and by shrinking the intact viral reservoir, this therapy tries to give the immune system the upper hand. The latest data suggests that this approach may be working in at least some participants for long periods of time. But we also need to be honest about where things are right now. Part 8. Where the trials stand today as of the latest publicly available updates, AGT103-T is still in early clinical development. The initial phase 1 trials have focused on safety and early signs of immune and virologic effects. Those studies met their primary and secondary goals. The therapy was safe, the modified cells persisted, and HIV-specific immune responses improved. A phase 1b trial has been planned to explore the therapy further, specifically looking at its safety and effectiveness as researchers fine-tune dosing and designs, including those supervised treatment interruptions. This is important to understand. AGT103-T is not an approved treatment. It is not available at pharmacies. It is not something people can just decide to get. It is currently restricted to clinical trials under strict oversight in relatively small numbers of volunteers. Many more steps are ahead. Larger studies, longer follow-up. Comparisons with standard care, regulatory review, all of that takes time. But the direction of the data so far: safety, immune restoration, viral control during treatment interruptions, and now documented reductions in the intact HIV reservoir is why so many people in the HIV research community are watching AGT103-T closely. Part 9. What this means for people living with HIV. If you are living with HIV or you know someone who is, it's easy to hear about therapies like AGT103-T and feel a wave of hope, maybe even impatience. Why can't I get this now? It's a human reaction. When you have walked for years with the weight of a diagnosis, the idea of a one-time therapy that could free you from daily medication is deeply emotional. But this is where health awareness and emotional awareness must work together. Right now, the safest and most effective way to live a long, healthy life with HIV is still consistent antiretroviral therapy under medical guidance. These medications have transformed HIV from a near-certain death sentence into a manageable chronic condition for millions of people around the world. AGT103-T does not replace that today. It represents a possible future, a new chapter that is still being written. If anything, this research should send a different message. Hold on. Stay engaged with your care. Stay on your treatment. Protect your health now, because the longer you stay well, the more likely you are to be around when therapies like this mature and become more widely available. Hope is not a reason to stop what is working. It is a reason to keep going. Part 10. The bigger picture, science, stigma, and the future. There's another silent battle happening alongside the science, the battle against stigma. HIV has carried decades of fear, shame, and misunderstanding. People have lost jobs, relationships, and opportunities because of ignorance, not because of the virus itself. Even today, many people are afraid to get tested, simply because they fear what a positive result might mean for how others will see them. AGT103-T is about biology, but it is also about identity. A world where HIV can be functionally cured with a single infusion, a stronger immune system, and no daily pills is a world where the story of HIV changes forever. It becomes less about fear and more about management, less about punishment and more about progress. But even before that future arrives, we can choose a better story now. Getting tested is an act of self-respect, not shame. Taking your medication every day is not weakness, it is discipline. Seeking information about new treatments is not desperation, it is awareness. No one chooses the viruses they carry, but all of us can choose how we respond. Part 11. A calm look forward. So where does AGT103-T leave us? It leaves us with a picture of what might be possible when medicine stops just suppressing a virus and starts trying to rebuild the immune system itself. It shows that a single infusion of autologous genetically modified T cells can be safe and can persist for months and beyond. The right type of engineered cells can dramatically boost HIV-specific immune responses. Carefully designed trials, with supervised treatment interruptions, can reveal whether these changes translate into real-world control of the virus without daily drugs. And the latest data suggests that AGT103-T is not just holding the virus back, but actually shrinking the reservoir of intact, replication-competent HIV in some participants, perhaps to undetectable levels. None of this is guaranteed to succeed. Science is patient. Trials can still fail. Unexpected challenges can appear. But step-by-step, trial-by-trial, data-point by data-point therapies like AGT103-T are moving us closer to a world where HIV is no longer a lifelong sentence, but a problem that can be truly, deeply controlled. Part 12. Final thoughts and a reminder as you finish listening. Remember this: AGT103-T is real. It is not science fiction. It is an actual therapy being tested in real people right now. It represents one of the most advanced attempts to harness gene and cell therapy in the fight against HIV. But it is also early, experimental, limited to clinical trials. Not a replacement for medical care today. So if you or someone you care about is living with HIV, stay on your treatment. Stay in touch with your healthcare team. Stay informed, using reliable sources, not rumors. And stay hopeful, not because of headlines, but because of the steady work of thousands of scientists, clinicians, and volunteers who are pushing the frontier forward, one careful study at a time. The story of HIV is not finished. AGT103-T is one chapter, and somewhere, in a lab, in a clinic, in a conference hall, where new data is being presented, the next chapter is already being written. Breathe. Take that in. The future of HIV treatment is being rewritten not in a single miracle moment, but in a series of deliberate, courageous advances, and you're living in the generation that gets to see it happen.